All right, so the first Kingsman film was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. That film is like dang near perfect. The second Kingsman, I did enjoy it, but not as much. But now we have the third film in the franchise. How did it hold up? Well, let's talk about it. My name is Brandon Keith Avery, and this is just my opinion. Hey, what's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Just My Opinion for my movie review for The Kingsman. And if this is your first time finding me and you happen to like the video, please give me that thumbs up and consider subscribing. So this is a film that I was really looking forward to. One of the reasons why is it's being directed by Matthew Vaughn and written by him. I'm a big fan of this guy right here. He first popped on the scene to me, I think in 2010 with Kick-Ass. That film is freaking flawless. I loved it. I remember I took my little brother to go see that film, and that's just something that he's not even into, but he was even blown away from that. I haven't seen Layer Cake, but I've heard nothing but good things about that. And also he did X-Men First Class. That is one of the better X-Men films. I think possibly one of the best in the X-Men series that's over at Fox. It's now 20th Century Studios, but I'm a big fan of Matthew Vaughn. I really want him to come and direct an MCU film. I really wanted him to come and do Fantastic Four, but Mark Webb is doing that one. I think the guy that's doing the Spider-Man films, but this is something that I really was looking forward to. And, you know, especially with part 2 of The Kingsman not being the best, you know, since the first one, I was really hoping that he could turn it around. But before I get into all the nitty gritty about my likes and dislikes, let me tell you exactly what it's all about. In the early years of the 20th century, the Kingsman Agency is formed to stand against a cabal plotting a war to wipe out millions. Now, the first thing that I did like about this film is just the way it looks. Matthew Vaughn just knows how to use cinematography in a way to make everything bright and vivid. Everything always stands out in his films. It looks great. There's always vivid colors and you're always able to make out what is going on. I mean, and this film started off in the 20th century, 1900s in South Africa. And I mean, it was just the scope, the scale of it all. It really did draw me in. I was really looking forward to going on this adventure with these characters. And let's also talk about the characters. That's another aspect that I did love. All of the characters in this movie, well, I don't want to say all of the characters, the protagonists in this film, I did enjoy all of them. We have Ralph Fiennes, who's great as Orlando Oxford. He's one of the main characters. Gemma Arterton as Polly. Harris Dickerson is Conrad Oxford. He is the son of Orlando Oxford and also Djimon Hounsou. Those are the 4 main characters in this film, and they all do a great job. I did find myself attached to all of them and enjoying the journey and the development that they were going through. If something were about to happen to them, I was worried. I was at the edge of my seat, and I did want them to succeed in the end. And like I said, I was just really excited to where these characters were going and navigating throughout the story, and I was just enjoying how they were developing. Now, the thing about it is, as far as my likes are concerned, I'm really gonna stop right there because I'm really mixed on this film, to be honest with you. I love the way the film started and I love the way the film ended, but for me, a little bit in the middle, it just got really muddy and uninteresting to me. We have this global war, these world wars that are about to pop off between Russia, Germany, and Europe, and these cousins that are beefing and all the politics that are going back and forth and who is trying to uphold power and maintain power and take power away from this group of people and transfer it over to this people. To be honest with you guys, I found the whole thing very uninteresting. I found myself being bored and not just really checked into the story, like asking myself, okay, what's going on? Deep sighing, deep breath, scoffing back and forth, just like, you know, I was kind of ready for the film to end. The only thing that was holding me on was the characters, especially Conrad Oxford. It was just something about him that was fascinating to me. And I like this character because he was brave. He was ready to fight. He wanted to take things to the next level and die for his country. And that's very honorable. But at the same time, I do like the dialogue that he had with his father, played by Ralph Fiennes. It's like, that's just a guided goal that you have right here, and a bit immature. There's no honor and dying for your country. I forgot the exact dialogue that was used, but the dialogue there was great. It's just, The story itself, I really just could not get into within the war. But the biggest sin of this movie to make me want to just despise it for the most part, and I just didn't enjoy it at all, was the villains, was the antagonists. They were absolutely horrible. I have seen this film and I still cannot make out who the final villain is. I wouldn't be able to tell you what his name is in the film or who his name is in real life. It was just that underwhelming. They also have another villain in this film, Rise Fons, played Grigory Rasputin. I say this is not hyperbole. I say this with no exaggeration. This is possibly one of the worst villains, worst antagonists I've ever seen in any movie. He was absolutely horrible. He was just like a garbage trash can vomit bag filled with stupidity and ridiculousness. I mean, I'm just saying to myself, why would you design a character this way, and what made you think that people would accept this, that they would like it, that they would accept it? I mean, there's just no way in hell. And when you see the film, there is one scene in particular to where he is trying to heal somebody by pulling down their pants. That's all I'm going to say, but it's just one of the dumbest things on earth. And then we have this mustache twirling villain who tries, you know, at the very beginning of a film to where they introduce the protagonist in the story and then they cut away to the villain and they try to always show how badass the villain is. They're having some meeting at some large table and then somebody comes in and bad mouths them and they try to, you know, shoot the person in the head just to show how badass they are. That's what they try to do in this film, and it just did not come across convincing to me. I would have said to myself, really? Okay, you know, like a little poodle from 101 Dalmatians could have been more threatening than this right here. But, you know, like, and then the reveal at the very end of the movie, it just was like, I'm not here for this at all. This is stupid. I want this movie to end. Now, the action is something that did save the movie. I did appreciate that. Whether they was fighting one of these goofy villains or not, I like action. I like sword play. I like gunplay. I like all of that. And that was all over this film. And I really did enjoy the end of this movie for the action. But I mean, I'm just not enthused about this movie at all. I mean, it was just very underwhelming to me. It barely passes. I like the characters and I like the action, but the story itself and the villains were absolutely atrocious. So over here, I like the action and I like the characters. Didn't really care for the story or the villains. So there's two things that I really did like and two things that I really don't like. And so that's kind of splitting it down in the middle. You would think that I would give this film a 5 out of 10. I'll give my rating for it at the very end. But for now, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. That is just my opinion. If you did like the video, please go ahead and give me that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, helping me reach 35,000 subscribers. Also on my way to 100,000 subscribers. And before I give my rating, I have a question to ask you. Please let me know down in the comment section below. Do you like Matthew Vaughn as a writer and director? Do you like Kick-Ass and also X-Men First Class? And out of these three films, which one is your favorite? The first Kingsman, the second one, or this third one? Or if you haven't even seen this third one yet, we know which Kingsman movie do you like the best? The first one or the second one? And so guys, if I had to rate this Kingsman out of a 1 out of 10, I would give this a 6 out of 10. Yes, a 6 out of 10. But guys, again, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Keith Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.